They moved into the house on Whisper Lane in the fall of 1978. The Miller family. A picture-perfect family from Pittsburgh looking for peace and quiet in the countryside. At first, it was peaceful, too peaceful. Then came the whispers. Every night around 11 p.m., faint voices floated through the walls. Sometimes a man murmuring, sometimes a child crying. They tried to ignore it, old pipes, maybe the wind, but their son, Danny, didn't. One night, his mother found him sitting by the wall, whispering back. When she asked what he was doing, he said, "She's sad, Mom. She says she can't get out." Danny told them a little girl lived inside the wall. Her name was Annie. She said she'd been there a long time, waiting. The father finally decided to tear open the wall behind Danny's bed. Inside, he found a small, dark crawl space filled with toys and a photograph of a young girl. On the back of the photo, it said, "Annie, missing since 1942. That night, the whispers grew louder. They came from every direction. The family tried to leave, but every door in the house slammed shut on its own. The last thing the neighbors heard was the sound of screaming. And then, silence. When the sheriff came the next morning, the Millers were gone. But to this day, people say if you walk down Whisper Lane after dark, you can still hear someone whisper your name from inside the walls. They call it the Dead Mile. A stretch of Route 93 in Nevada, where truckers say a woman in white appears after midnight, asking for a ride. Most people speed up when they see her, but in 2019, two friends, Kevin and Marco, decided to stop. They were filming for a paranormal channel, hoping to catch the hitchhiker ghost on camera. Around 2:17 a.m., their dash cam picked her up, walking barefoot down the side of the road. They slowed down. She turned toward the headlights, pale, drenched, eyes hollow. They offered her a ride. She opened the back door without a word and sat down. For 5 minutes, no one spoke. Then Marco turned around. The back seat was empty. The temperature inside the car dropped. Kevin's breath turned white, and on the fogged-up back window, words began to appear, written from the inside. "Thank you for taking me home." Police found the car pulled over on the shoulder at sunrise, doors unlocked, engine running. The dashcam was still recording, and right before the footage ends, a faint voice whispers, "Can you take me again?" It was almost midnight when Jake locked the front door of the Hollow Creek Diner for the very last time. The place had been open since the 1950s, a neon landmark off Highway 18. But business had slowed, and after 40 years, the owner finally sold it. Tonight was Jake's final shift. Only one customer remained, an old man in a green jacket sitting at the counter, stirring his coffee without saying a word. Jake looked up and said, "Sorry, sir." "We're closing up," the man smiled, polite, quiet. "Don't worry," he said. "I'm almost done." Jake nodded and turned away to wipe down the booths. When he looked back, the stool was empty. The cup was still steaming. Jake blinked. He hadn't heard the door open, but maybe the guy slipped out quietly. He shrugged it off and finished cleaning. By 12:30, the diner was empty. He switched off the open sign and started on the kitchen. That's when he smelled it. Cigarette smoke, strong and fresh. but no one had smoked in the diner for years. He stepped back into the dining area and froze. The old man was sitting at the counter again. Same stool, same jacket, same faint smile. "Sir, we're closed. You really can't be in here. You said that already, last time." The radio on the shelf turned on by itself, a burst of static, then a voice. "Breaking news. A fire has destroyed the Hollow Creek Diner. 2 employees were trapped inside. Fire crews are still searching for..." Jake stared at the radio. His hands were shaking. The date on the broadcast was October 30th, 1987. He turned toward the counter, but the stool was empty again. Only, in the reflection of the window behind it, he saw movement. Someone stood behind him, a man in a cook's uniform, face blackened, eyes open wide, staring right at him through the glass, and the reflection smiled. The smoke alarms screamed. The air turned hot, choking. Jake ran for the door, but it wouldn't budge. He pounded on the glass as the heat roared behind him. Then, everything went white. When firefighters broke into the ruins of the Hollow Creek Diner the next morning, they found nothing but ashes, except for a melted radio, still plugged into the wall. And on the counter, 2 coffee cups, still warm. If you ever drive down Highway 18 on a rainy night, look for the neon sign that flickers just once and then disappears, because some places never really close. If you enjoyed these stories, remember to lock your doors, check your mirrors, and maybe avoid driving alone on Route 93, because sometimes the stories we tell on Halloween aren't stories at all.